I recommend you to watch AAU television.
AAU TV is the place to be for every person in higher education in Africa. Better be there or be nowhere.
Continuez de regarder la télé et surtout sur le AAU.
Keep watching it and it will change the way you interact with higher education on the continent. AAU, great job.
I want to tell you that AAU television is fantastic, it's educative, it's informative, and it is a must for anybody who is interested in higher education in Africa.
When I was in Accra last year, I did an interview on this TV. It's a very important mouthpiece.
It's a data, it's a bank of all we need for the development of higher education in Africa.
People should make an effort to view it because it discusses very current issues of development across the continent.
I believe that the station will continue to promote the overall development of Africa, particularly in the tertiary education sector.
AAU TV provides a platform and shares a lot of information to a broader audience. So we wish you all the best and please continue serving
AAU TV,
the voice of higher education in Africa.
It's 12 o'clock GMT. Welcome to the AAU TV Midweek News. We're coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. And out to our top stories for today. UCC launches e-campus for online postgraduate education. And unpaid workers strain Congo Ebola. And business Senegal raises petrol and diesel prices. And international Trump plans reduce South Korea drills. Please stay with us for more news on the AAU TV Midweek News. My name is Jemima Daladem Duce. Welcome back from the break and now to the news in detail. The University of Health and Allied Sciences, UHAS, has suspended its ongoing end of second semester examination for the 2025-2026 academic year. The suspension was announced on Saturday, August 15, 2026, by the Directorate of Academic Affairs to address outstanding administrative and logistical issues affecting the examination. The university says the revised timetable will be communicated by the close of day, Monday, August 17th. Students have also been asked to remain available and regularly monitor official university communication channels for further updates.
The suspension affects students currently writing the end of second semester examinations across the university. However, UHAS has not disclosed the specific administrative or logistical challenges that led to the decision. Management has assured students that examinations will resume under a revised schedule, which is expected to be communicated by Monday. Students have consequently been advised to remain available and pay close attention to official announcements to avoid missing information about the new examination dates. The university has also expressed regret over the inconvenience caused by the suspension and thanks students and staff for their cooperation. Until the revised timetable is released, students are expected to await further communication from the university and make the necessary arrangements for the continuation of the examinations.
Also, the University of Cape Town has launched UCC eCampus, a structured online learning platform designed to expand access to selected postgraduate programs for professionals in Ghana and abroad. The initiative, launched in Cape Coast as Professor Dennis Wolanyo Aheto begins his tenure as Vice Chancellor, will allow qualified learners to study without relocating or leaving employment. The platform combines flexible online learning with UCC's postgraduate academic standards and offers programs aligned with emerging professional and societal needs.
The University of Cape Coast eCampus will provide online access to programs in areas including business administration, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, data science, finance, project management, healthcare management, and human resource management. The university says the platform will also offer programs in sustainability, supply chain management, and organizational leadership. The portfolio includes Master of Business Administration, Master of Science, Diploma in Business Administration, and Doctor of Philosophy programs designed for professionals at different stages of their careers. Vice-Chancellor Professor Dennis Bolanyo Aheto described the initiative as a commitment to widening access to UCC education while maintaining the university's academic standards. Students will be able to access lectures, learning materials, assignments, assessments, faculty engagement, and academic support through a structured digital environment. The platform is particularly targeted at professionals who want to advance their careers or develop specialized skills without putting their jobs and other responsibilities on hold. Chief Executive Officer of Astra Learning, Dr. Jeff Borders, said the platform would help remove some of the barriers that prevent working professionals from pursuing further education. The university says the initiative will extend its postgraduate programs beyond the physical campus, reaching learners across Ghana, Africa, and other parts of the world. It also provides Ghanaians living abroad with an opportunity to pursue postgraduate education through one of Ghana's leading public universities.
In health workers in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo are facing growing challenges and responding to the country's fastest growing Ebola outbreak, with some workers reportedly unpaid for more than 3 months. In Nizi, surveillance and contact tracing teams continue searching for people exposed to the virus, despite limited mobility, shortage of protective supplies, and temporary strikes at the treatment center. The difficulties are raising concerns that weakened surveillance could further slow efforts to contain the outbreak.
Community health workers in Nizi receive between 60 and 70 alerts each day as they search for suspected cases and people who may not have been exposed to Ebola. However, the head of contact tracing, Gideon Banga Ngbape, stated that unpaid wages and limited mobility were making it difficult for teams to carry out their work effectively. Health workers at the Nizi Treatment Center also went on strike on Thursday, temporarily forcing the facility to close. Community health workers continue visiting homes to educate residents, identify suspected cases, and report alerts to health authorities. One community health worker, Anna Ndroy Kasime, said field workers were also operating without some basic protective supplies. The outbreak has recorded more than 4,300 confirmed cases and over 2,000 deaths, according to government data. Health authorities say the outbreak was declared in May, but genetic sequencing indicates it may have started months earlier. The outbreak is being driven by the Rebundibuyo strain of Ebola, for which there are currently no approved vaccines or specific treatments. The response is also being complicated by insecurity, misinformation, and resistance from communities already affected by previous Ebola outbreaks. Health officials warn that unless surveillance and frontline services are strengthened, delays in identifying and treating cases could allow the virus to spread further.
Stick with us for news on Discovery. We'll be right back.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aauLMS@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Welcome back from the break, and now to our discovery story. Airtel Africa and Elon Musk's Starlink have launched a satellite-to-phone device in the Democratic Republic of Congo, making it the first commercial deployment of the technology in Africa. Launched on August 14, 2026, the service allows eligible Airtel customers with compatible smartphones to connect directly to Starlink satellites in areas without conventional mobile coverage. The initiative aims to extend basic connectivity to remote communities and sectors such as mining, transport, agriculture, healthcare, and humanitarian operations.
Unlike conventional Starlink broadband, the service does not require customers to install a satellite dish or other specialized equipment. Compatible smartphones connect directly to satellites, which effectively operates as mobile towers in space. The initial service supports SMS and selected light data applications, including WhatsApp, but does not yet provide unrestricted high-speed internet or video streaming. Airtel Africa Chief Executive Officer, Sanil Talda, said the DRC launch represents an important milestone and could help extend connectivity beyond the reach of conventional mobile infrastructure. Customers using compatible long-term evolution LTE Android smartphones can register through the My Airtel application and receive free access for an introductory 30-day period. The service is expected to be particularly useful in remote areas where building traditional mobile infrastructure is difficult or expensive. Airtel DRC Chief Executive Officer Thierry Daya Sonama said the service could help people remain connected in areas where terrestrial coverage is unavailable. The technology could also provide basic communications during natural disasters, conflicts, and disruptions to mobile networks. The DRC has one of Africa's largest connectivity gaps, with difficult terrain, a vast landmass, and dispersed communities, making conventional network expansion challenging. Airtel and Starlink plan to eventually expand the service across Airtel's 14 African markets, subject to regulatory and spectrum approvals in each country. The DRC launch follows successful tests in Kenya earlier this year and marks the first time the satellite-to-phone service has moved from testing to commercial access in Africa.
Cameroon have won the Women's African Cup of Nations for the first time after defeating tournament debutant Malawi 3-0 in the final. Marie Inga Manga scored twice while Naomi Eto'o added another goal as the indomitable Lioness secured their first title after 3 previous final defeats.
The women national team of Cameroon have been crowned champions of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations after defeating tournament debutant Malawi 3-0 in the final. Marie Inga Manga scored twice while Naomi Eto'o added the other goal as Cameroon secured its first WAFCON title. The victory ends Cameroon's run of 3 previous final defeats, all against record 10-time champions Nigeria. Malawi made the brighter start, but Cameroon took control in the 21st minute when Ngamanga headed home from close range. 8 minutes later, Naomi Eto'o doubled the advantage with a brilliant turn and finish inside the right post. Malawi struggled to respond despite effort from sisters Tabitha and Temwa Chawinga, who have been among the team's key attacking threats throughout the tournament. Cameroon sealed the victory when Eto'o broke forward and delivered a precise cross for Ngamanga to head in her second goal of the match and 5th of the tournament. Malawi had opportunities after the break, including a penalty appeal involving Tabitha Chawinga, but a VAR review ruled against the decision. Cameroon held on to secure a historic WAFCON triumph and celebrate their first victory in a continental final.
A fundraising campaign launched following the death of former Cambridge Professor Jason Addy has raised more than 120,000 euros from over 4,500 donors. Addy was the first, who was the first Ghanaian descent, became the youngest black professor in Cambridge history after his appointment as a professor of sociology of education. His family has expressed gratitude to supporters following his death in South London on August 14th.
More than £120,000 has been raised in memory of former Cambridge professor Jason Addy, just days after his death in London. The GoFundMe campaign, launched by Windrush campaigner Sir Patrick Vernon, has attracted more than 4,500 donations to support Addy's funeral, memorial and associated family costs. Addy, who was born in Clapham to Ghanaian parents, made history as the youngest black professor at the University of Cambridge when he was appointed Professor of Sociology of Education. His academic journey attracted widespread attention, having faced significant challenges during childhood, including not speaking until age 11 and not learning to read or write until he was 18. Addy was pronounced dead at the scene after emergency service responded to reports of an unresponsive man at a property in Battersea, South London on August 14th. His death came 1 week after he resigned from Cambridge, following allegations concerning plagiarism in his PhD thesis at Liverpool John Moores University. His family has thanked supporters for their messages of condolence and contributions during what they described as a deeply painful period. Meanwhile, campaign group Stand Up to Racism has announced plans for a vigil in Addy's memory in central London, while political figures have called for reflection and caution amid the circumstances surrounding his death.
Senegal has increased pump prices for petrol and diesel, with super petrol now selling at 9.90 CFA francs per litre and diesel at 7.55 CFA francs. The government says the adjustment reflects rising international oil prices linked to the Middle East conflict and follows more than 245 million CFA francs spent on fuel subsidies since the start of the year.
Motorists in Senegal are facing higher fuel costs following a government's adjustment that took effect on Saturday, August 15. The price of super petrol has increased by 70 CFA franc to 990 CFA franc per litre, while diesel has risen by 75 CFA franc to 755 CFA franc. Prices for other petroleum products, including gas and fuel used by pirogues, remain unchanged. The government says the adjustment restored fuel prices to levels that existed before a reduction introduced in December last year. Authorities attribute the increase to rising global oil prices following the conflict in the Middle East. Since the conflict began on February 28, international price pressures have contributed to increases of 69% for diesel and 61% for super petrol. The government says it delayed the adjustment as long as possible, absorbing more than 245 billion CFA franc in fuel subsidies since the beginning of the year. Maintaining the previous prices would have required an additional 47 billion CFA franc in subsidies within 1 month. Authorities described the latest adjustment as partial and measured, noting that pump prices remain below import costs, while social protection measures will continue to support vulnerable households.
U.S. President Donald Trump says the United States will substantially reduce joint military exercises with South Korea, citing his relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The announcement has raised concern in Seoul over regional security, while South Korea says it is reviewing the decision. The move comes amid renewed North Korean missile tests and ongoing tensions over U.S. military commitment in the region.
A new dispute is emerging over U.S.-South Korea military cooperation after President Donald Trump announced plans to substantially reduce joint military exercises. Trump linked the decision to his relationship with North Korea leader Kim Jong-un and South Korea's refusal to support a U.S. military operation against Iran. South Korea says it is reviewing the announcement while continuing consultations with Washington on military cooperation and the annual joint drills. The development comes as North Korea continues to expand its nuclear and missile programs, with Pyongyang conducting ballistic missile tests in recent weeks. The annual All-Chief Freedom Shield exercises were scheduled to run for 11 days, involving about 18,000 South Korea troops. Around 28,500 U.S. military personnel are currently stationed in South Korea. Military experts have warned that reducing the exercises could weaken coordination between the two allies and affect deterrence against political conflict in the region. North Korea has consistently opposed the drills, describing them as preparations for aggressive war. Trump previously suspended the exercises in 2018 during diplomatic engagements with Kim Jong-un, before they were scaled back again in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. The latest announcement comes as South Korea seeks renewed dialogue with North Korea, including discussions on formally ending the Korea War, which technically remains unresolved in the 1953 armistice.
Now let's take a quick look at our top stories. In higher education, UCC launches e-campus for online postgraduate education. In health, unpaid workers train Ebola and Congo's Ebola. In Senegal, in business, Senegal raises petrol and diesel prices. And international Trump plans reduce South Korea drills. Thanks for sticking with us on the AAU TV Midweek News. You can also follow us on our dedicated social media platforms, Association of African Universities, on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Jemima Daladam Doche. Have a nice day.